Hi, welcome to Math for You. I'm Teacher Hernan, and in this video, the topic is on comparing and ordering decimal numbers. But before that, please do subscribe and click that notification bell if you want to be updated with all my latest videos. So let's get started. Look at the pictures of James and Ryan. Given their weights, James 10.25 kilograms, while Ryan 10.7 kilograms. Which of the two boys is heavier? To answer the question, we simply compare their weights, right? Now let's use a place value chart to compare 10.25, which is the weight of James, right? And Ryan's weight 10.7. So 10 here, the two tens here are the whole numbers. Then the 0.25 and 0.7 are the decimal numbers. Okay? Now when we compare decimals, we start with the whole numbers. Since the whole numbers here are the same, so we cannot say which is bigger or smaller, right? So the next thing for you to compare is or are the tenths digits. Okay, so the tenths digits are the 2 and the 7. So just compare these two digits. So if you compare 2 and 7, 2 is less than 7, right? So we can say that 10.25 is smaller than 10.7. Or the other way around, 10.7 is bigger than 10.25. So we can say the weight of Ryan is bigger than the weight of James. So we can say that Ryan is what? Heavier than James, correct? So our answer is Ryan. Let's have another example. This time, let's compare 3.19 and 3.173. So again, okay, let's arrange these two decimal numbers. So let's have 3.19 here, then 3.173. Again, the 3 here, the two threes here are our whole numbers. So since they are the same, so again, we compare the tenths digit. The tenths digits are the 1. But since they are the same, so we cannot tell which one is smaller or bigger. So if we cannot compare the tenths digit or the whole numbers, so we go to the next place value, which is the hundredths. So here, we compare the 9 and the 7, correct? So if we compare 9 and 7, we can say that 9 is greater than 7. So we can say that 3.19 is greater than 3.13. Or we can use the symbol for greater than. This is the symbol for greater than. So we can also write that as 3.19 greater than 3.173. This time, let's arrange the amounts of money in ascending order. Ascending order, we start with smallest to biggest. So the amounts are 35 cents. We have 4 pesos and 75 cents here, and 1 peso and 50 cents. So let's arrange them, or let's arrange the amounts from least to greatest. So let's arrange these numbers vertically like this. So the whole numbers here, you have 0. Here we have 4. Here we have 1. So since the whole numbers are not the same, so we can compare. Or we can say which is bigger or the biggest among the 3 or the smallest, right? So since we will start with the smallest, so the smallest here of these whole numbers is the 0, right? So meaning 0.35 is the smallest number. So that's the smallest. So we'll write 0.35 here. Okay. Then the next is, let's compare the 4 and the 1. Since 1 is smaller than 4, so the next smaller number is 1.50. So let's write 1.50. And so the biggest number is, since 4 is the biggest among the whole numbers, so this number is the biggest. So we have 4.75. So if we arrange the given amounts in ascending order, so we have this one. Sorry, I forgot to put the peso sign. So let's put the peso sign here. Peso sign. Then peso sign here. Let's put the peso sign. Okay, so the smallest is 35 cents. Then the second is 1 peso and 50 cents. And the biggest is 4 pesos and 75 centavos. So our answer is this one. Okay. Now let's apply comparing and ordering decimals through these problems here. On the table, you can see items, shirt, pair of shoes, the belt, handkerchief, and the bag. So for the shirt, we have here, wait, let me write P for peso sign. Okay. Okay, let's say P. Let me write P for peso sign. There. So let's set the P of our peso sign. Okay, for the shirt, we have 125 pesos and 75 cents. For the pair of shoes, we have 525 pesos. For the belt, we have 105 pesos and 50 centavos. Handkerchief, 40 pesos and 25 cents. And the bag, 380 pesos and 99 centavos. So again, all you have to do is to compare first the whole numbers, okay? Since the whole numbers are not the same, so just compare the whole numbers. You don't need to compare the tens or the hundreds digits, okay? So let's start with the first question. Which item is the most expensive? So look for whole number that has the biggest amount. So this is 380, 105, no, 125, 125 here. This is 525. By the way, 525 can be written as 525.00, right? So we can write this as 225.00. Okay. So the biggest whole number here, as you can see, is the 525. So that's the most expensive. And what item is that? That's pair of shoes. So our answer here is pair of shoes. Okay. What about number 2? Which item is the cheapest? So look for a whole number that is the smallest here. So the smallest whole number, as you can see, is the 40, right? So that's the cheapest rather. So our answer is the handkerchief, correct? So let's write handkerchief here. Handkerchief. Okay. What about number 3? Which item is more expensive than the belt but less expensive than the bag? So let's try to check first the belt. So more expensive than the belt. The belt costs 105. So it's more expensive. So bigger than 105 is 125. But it says less than the bag. The bag is 380. So it's less than, yes. This is bigger than 105, but less than 380, correct? So our answer is the shirt. Am I correct? So number 3, our answer is shirt. Okay. What about question number 4? Which is more expensive, the pair of shoes or the combination of shirt and bag? So what will you do? You add first the cost of shirt and bag. Let's have the shirt. How much the shirt? 125. So let's add it here. The shirt is 125.75. Then the cost of bag, 380. So let's write 380 here. 0.99. So if you will add these two, this is 14. 4, carry 1. 179, that will give you 17. Carry 1. Just bring down the decimal point. So this is 6, correct? This is 10, so 0, carry 1. Then this is 5. So it's 506 pesos and 74 centavos. So, which is more expensive now? The pair of shoes is 525 pesos. So it's bigger than 506, right? If you compare the whole numbers, so this is 525 is bigger than 506. So the pair of shoes is more expensive. So our answer here is pair of shoes. Okay, so let's answer the last one. The last one is we arrange the items from the most expensive to the cheapest. So let's start with the biggest whole number. By the way, it says the items. So we compare the whole numbers first. So let's have the biggest whole number is this one, the 525. So that's pair of shoes. So let's write pair of shoes. Okay, pair of shoes. Okay, the next biggest whole number there after 525 is 380, right? So the next most expensive is the bag. So let's write bag here. Okay, let's write bag. Next to 380 is less than 380. 100. Next bigger is 125, which is the shirt. Correct. So let's write shirt here. Next, after the 125, smaller than 125. Yes, this 105, which is the belt. Okay. And the smallest whole number is the 40. So the cheapest item here is the handkerchief. So let me write handkerchief here. Handkerchief. Okay. So that's our answer for the last problem. Sorry. So this is belt again. This is belt. This is belt. I'm sorry, I was able to erase. So this is belt. Okay, so that's our answer. Okay, let's have the last activity. Using all the digits 1, 0, 5, 7, and 3 form the largest decimal number less than 100. So, if you notice, the biggest number you can form less than 100 is using the 7 and the 5. That is 75, right? So let's write 75 here. Then decimal point. Since we're looking for the largest, so the next largest digit there is 3. And followed by 1. Then 0 here. There. So the answer is 75.310. That's all for now. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.